Yeah, so this one's going to be focusing on a recent crash out by Asmongold regarding WoW. They've got a new expansion that's coming out in June. And it's obviously all about the typical LGBTQ stuff and all that rubbish. So let's get into it.
See the WoW Pride event. I did. I don't know why gay people have to make their sexuality in every fucking thing, right?
Dude.
Like, I don't understand it. It's fucking annoying. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, if you want to be gay, you want to suck a dude's dick, go ahead. But goddamn, do we really need to have a parade about it?
Yep.
Like, damn, bro. Like, really? I mean, it's not that big of a fucking deal.
Look, man, and like, this is the thing. Like, from the Christian lens, I know he's gonna get into it more. But at the end of the day, you know, the issue with the whole LGBTQ thing, it's the pride that's the problem. It's the pride that they have. You know, they don't want extra rights. They don't want any of that kind of stuff. They want superior rights. They've already got equal rights. They want more. And I think it's naive to think that, you know, we can support it. And also, they can be okay with just the support and they're not going to ask for more. We know that they always ask for more. And that's where I think we need to default to the Christian approach. Christianity welcomes the gays. It welcomes the homosexuals. It welcomes, if you had to look at homosexuality and lesbianism and all of these kind of things simply for what they are, it's missing the mark. It's sin. You're welcome, but you're welcome to change. Just like everybody that comes to faith, you're welcome to change. We're not going to stop you from coming to church, but there is going to be requirements that are put on you, just like it's put on everybody. This is what Christianity is all about. It's all about walking in a lifestyle of repentance, where you recognize that which you do is wrong according to the Bible, and you change, and the change is always for the better.
And you're going around crashing out over this like it's nothing. So no, deep down they know it's wrong. I mean, I don't even know if that's the reason. But like, no, I saw that. And I said again,
according to the Bible, I think, where is it? It's Paul talked about it in Romans 1 verse 22, 23, where, you know, they've got the knowledge. They've been given the knowledge and they refuse to accept it. God has given all of us as human beings this knowledge of the metaphysical, of God himself, of right and wrong. We've been given that knowledge. They refuse to accept it. And this is why evangelism, I suppose, is so important, because we have to let them know that what they're doing is wrong. Just like we have to, you know, in a sense, we have to evangelize to ourselves all the time. This is why reading the Bible, reading the church fathers, praying is so important, because in a sense we're evangelizing to ourselves about how we always and forever are going to continually need to be repenting from that which is good to that which is even better than it, because God demands perfection. Are we going to fall short? Constantly. Should we grow? Constantly. That's how it works.
I went and I said, so it happened a little bit ago, right? So there it is. World of Warcraft is adding its first official Pride event called Darkspear Dash. No. And the event raises money.
Okay, so it's Darkspear Dash. Worldcross is adding a Pride event called Darkspear Dash. It's also a weird name as well, Darkspear. The event raises money for LGBTQ Trevor project. So I checked that. So it's kind of like I think it's for the LGBTQs. It's like a suicide prevention type of deal. The thing is, if it was right, if it was a good thing, explain to me why there would even be a suicide prevention for LGBTQs if it was normal human being behavior. If it was normal, why would there be even a suicide prevention what for it? If anything, it would make LGBTQ people even happier. Yet they seem to be miserable. So this is why there's a suicide thing to it. There's a suicide element to it. And they'll probably claim, oh no, but that's because, you know, we get so much hate from everybody around us all the time, continually. And that's also in part because you guys have to continually force it down our throats all the time, continually. But also, it's because the LGBTQ movement, I think, is fundamentally wrong, because they've made sexuality an identity. Why would you need to make your sexuality an identity? You would make your personality your identity. You would make what you believe in terms of the metaphysical more part of your identity than your sexuality. Your sexuality is simply just something that you're born with. And this is why they bring up the whole, oh, that's why there's so many genders. This is why I'm a person in the wrong body and I don't feel, I don't feel right in my skin. It's like, this is how you are. And the repentance comes with, I'm not saying that you don't have that bend, but you've got this idea of, okay, but this is how I am. I need to adapt to the fact that I am the way I am, according to my biological makeup, not according to my perception or subjectivity. This is the way I am when I look in the mirror. There's nothing wrong with it. There's great blessings from both races, from both genders, male and female, there's only two, that come from God within the specific gender. And it's about, the discovery, or whatever you want to call it. It's simply just growing in Christ. It's really not that complicated.
For LGBT Trevor Project, and I said I would be mad, but at this point this event is the least gay thing in the game. So that's really where we're at. It is. And again, World of Clowncraft. True. Yeah. And so anyway, of course they did. Yes, of course they did. I find it to be so insufferable and fucking annoying that every single video game has to do something that reaffirms gay people.
True.
Holy fuck, guys. Yeah. Like, do we need to have an identity pride, like an identity event for everybody? No. And this is the issue that I have, right? Is like, if you want to be gay, be gay. I don't give a fuck. Okay, nobody.
See, well, that's why I would disagree with it, because like I understand his sentiment, but I think this is where like the atheistic minds gets it wrong, because by you showing support, or by you just not even showing support but saying, oh, I don't care about it. The thing is, the ideology and the LGBTQ ideology generally fits hand in hand with the socialist, communist, Marxist ideology. It's got nothing to do with equal rights. It pushes the boundary against the destruction of Western civilization. It pushes against the idea of Christianity. So by saying I don't care, just as long as you don't do it around me, the thing is that's actually a cope, and it actually causes more of the problem, because they're never going to be okay with equal. They're never going to be okay with normal. They're never going to be okay with the idea of, okay, we can just sit by the same civilizational fire and you can do your thing and I can do my thing. No, the idea with, this is why I lump LGBTQ mentality into communism and stuff, because it's counter. It always wants more. It always wants to subvert. It always wants to dominate. It always wants to take over. And then this is why this happens, because it's an idea of pushing the message. They want to take over. They don't just want to, they don't want to just, be the same. They want to be better. They want their ideology to take over.
Nobody really cares, right? I mean, like, obviously there's like, I guess there's some inbreds on the other side of the world that love caring about this. Most normal people don't give a shit. So if I have to constantly fucking see every single time, every game has to have some sort of nod, like approval or something like that for being fucking gay, it is exhausting, man. Oh my God. Like, how insecure do you have to be that every single video game and piece of media needs to reaffirm your sexuality? Holy fuck, man.
But that's the thing. It's not about, I don't necessarily think it's about an insecurity. I think it's more about they're pushing the agenda. They want you to get used to the fact that they are slowly taking over. They want to take over. And this is why Asmund's got good takes at times, and this is where I think he can see the frustration, but he refuses to acknowledge that he's going to have to change his idea of it in order to see the deception behind it.
Like, it's one thing to say, you know what, I don't want to be discriminated against. I don't want to be treated like I am this bad weirdo. I want to be treated the same as everybody else because I'm an American and I deserve that. But they don't want that. They want to be elevated and celebrated. There's nothing to celebrate sucking a dick. There's plenty of people that suck dicks all the time. They don't get celebrated. Damn, just do it. Like, that's the way I see it. It's patronizing. Well, that comment, no, it's weird as fuck. It is. It's weird as fuck. And why is it that every single fucking thing has to have some degree of pride parade? And the Trevor Project, isn't this for just being trans? I mean, this isn't even for LGBT, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Oh no, it's suicide prevention. Okay, for some reason I thought that was for trans. Well, I guess I'm wrong about that. Either way, there's Mother's Day. Yeah, there's already a day for sucking dick. And bad take, I celebrate every dick sucker. I guarantee you that you don't, okay? And so, yeah, I identify with a full head of hair. I guess so. And yeah, it's just, it's so fucking annoying, man. It is. And the reason why I find it to be annoying is because how many groups need an identity? Like, we have Black History Month, which like, okay, in America, yeah, I think Black History Month is kind of like, I don't know what racist senator said, well, why don't we give them the whole month for their history? What month were you thinking, Senator? I was thinking the shortest month with the least days. Yeah! We'll call it Black History Month. And that's what it had to have been, right? I mean, damn. How you gonna give them the shortest month for Black History Month? Really? Like, damn. And so, where's White History Month? I mean, again, you know, like, you can be racist and say it's...
Well, regarding the White History Month, right? I mean, I think, who was it? It was Jesse Lee Peterson. He was talking about how the white people should have a White History Month in June or July or something like that. Yeah. I mean, why can't white people also have a History Month? I mean, you're not, if we're gonna go ahead and, you know, give this to all the, you know, the special interest groups, why can't white people have something special as well then? Yeah.
The rest of the year. And so you develop 11 expansions, you suck one dick, you're not a developer, you're a dick sucker. Well, they've been doing a lot of the both, right? And incels don't have anything. It's like, yeah, when do we get Incel Appreciation Month?
True. Why can't we get an Incel Day? Yeah, exactly. Like, why can't we? Yeah, it's always only the select people that get the special days. That's so true.
When do we get Furry Appreciation Day? Where do we get Adult Baby Diaper Fur Celebration Weekend? When do we get BDSM? Oh, I guess we had that with Maldraxxus and the Shadowlands and the Venthyr. Never mind, we already had that. Let's see, besides that, oh, wow. What other, oh man, how about we need how about like a Yuri Fridays? How about that? Where like all of the, all of the female characters have like an animation where they can make out with each other. And so, no, I think, yeah, Epstein, too, you know.
This is the thing, this is where it just gets ridiculous. Because, I mean, if you concede to some, eventually you're going to have to concede to all. And this is what the left does. It makes everything complicated. It just makes everything complicated where it could be really, really simple, but they go out of their way to make stuff more complicated than it has to be. And this is why it just becomes an absolute dog show society, because now everybody, if we had to play out just what Asmongold's talking about, fundamentally, basically what you're saying is everybody's going to need to have all sorts of special little things. Every little interest group is going to have to get somehow represented or recognition throughout the year. And weirdly, the left would go ahead and say, no, but we're all about unity. If anything, you're dividing people more than ever.
You know what? Let's not have Epstein Tuesdays. I don't think that's...
Epstein,
I think that's a bad one, okay? Yeah, it's definitely a bad one. and Goth Mommy Sunday. Yeah, and it's like illegal. Why don't we have Illegal Aliens Day, and we can celebrate the day that the orcs
fundamentally, that's every day, right?
immigrated from Draenor into Azeroth because of the help of a guy who was possessed by a literal demon. So the only instance of illegal immigration that's happened in World of Warcraft was spurred on by an intergalactic, interdimensional Satan figure that was poisoning the mind of a person who wanted to destroy the...
I don't necessarily know if he's talking about Muhammad, but that is actually Muhammad.
Place that all of the illegal immigrants were coming to. Like, I don't know, man. I think that seems pretty realistic. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I'm saying the Draenei? Yeah, but the Draenei are hot, so it's okay. Like, that's the reason why nobody cares. The orcs, like, bro, like, fuck no. Can we celebrate Judgment Day from...
Yeah, because I think, who was it? It was Rupert Lowe. He's talking about the fact that he categorizes, and I think it's quite an accurate take. I mean, if you look at Lord of the Rings, there's a lot of similarity between what is happening now in the West and what is happening in, like, Lord of the Rings. And I know, like, a lot of people don't like that kind of stuff, but there's a lot of crossover in Lord of the Rings regarding to what's happening now in society, and it's very interesting.
Terminator, I like the sound of that. Next thing they're going to try to normalize is being attracted to minors. I think that there are every...
Oh, I think that's actually that's already sort of pretty normal these days. It's, you know, it's when you start allowing, and this goes back to the whole thing, when you start allowing just a small amount of evil, it's never going to be satisfied with just that which you give it. It's going to require more. It's going to require, I don't just want this, I also want this new thing now. I also want this new level of depravity. You have to reaffirm this new thing. It's never going to be just the initial thing that they want. It is always going to advance to the next thing, and to the next thing, and to the next thing.
Every pedo is waiting and waiting and waiting to find their opportunity to, you know, basically misrepresent and take advantage of the LGBT movement so they can push their sick fantasies. I think that that's true. I think there's a lot of them that want to do that. Now, I don't think that, like, and I think it's fundamentally massively different, right? Like, I do think there's a fallacy that, like, being gay, being trans, being bi, being queer, or, like, you know, some other variation of it, this is fundamentally different than, like, being a fucking pedo. And the reason why is consent, right? Like, somebody wants to be trans, they decided that. Two people want to suck each other's dicks,
see, but that's the thing, because I also I hear what you're saying, but I think it also comes down to, I disagree with it in the sense that there's a lot of things that are happening in the world where people don't give their consent, and yet it still happens. Yet politicians allow it, yet they don't actually do anything. Take the grooming gangs, for instance, right? In the UK, take the rape gangs that are happening in the UK. Take like the bad things that are happening with all the illegal aliens, how they just beat the crap out of people in the middle of the roads, or just walking around. They just, you know, they run around in mobs and just beat the crap out of people. So many of the cases just get overlooked. So many of the cases just get, well, you know, we've got more important things to do as the police, like lock up people for hurty words online and this kind of stuff. They get overlooked. So in that sense, I mean, really, the government is busy dulling people down to saying, well, in a sense, they are giving their consent by not actually doing anything. So I think the whole idea of the consent thing is slowly starting to whittle away, and it becomes a moot point, really, because it's by them doing nothing, by authority doing nothing, they are basically giving their consent.
decided that. Like that's it. And so there's a huge fucking difference in my mind between the two things. But, like I guess people are going to look at it a different way. And it's sexuality, devil's advocate. Well, yeah, but like I think that there's an unspoken, it's not even an unspoken rule, it's a very spoken rule that your sexuality ends where other people's consent begins. So, for example, there are people that like voyeurism. Does that mean that it's okay to take upskirt photos of girls? No, I don't think so. So there's people that like, like, I don't know, they like the idea of something being non-consensual is exciting in itself to them. That's just what they like. And, like, I think that many people, and by the way, many people that are into these like sexual deviancies, I think that if they could push a button and be as into, just heterosexual,
But that's the thing, it's always going to come down to, yes, the issue is sin. Like, it's always going to come down to this idea of, yes, there's always going to be something that we need to work on. The idea, it goes back to the pride. It goes back to the idea of the pride behind the thing. If you continually think that what you're doing is okay, then there is no opportunity for repentance for you, because you don't think that there's anything wrong with it. The law, if we had good governments, the law could go ahead and give a whole bunch of lists about why you shouldn't do a certain thing. But if you want to do that thing regardless, you don't necessarily see it as wrong, or otherwise you would try. And this is why Christianity is important. Although we're never going to be perfect, the thing is, you can overcome these things in Christianity.
Normal sex with a woman, if they could just push that button and shift, they would do that. I think a lot of them wish that they weren't programmed this way, but at the end of the day, if you're programmed like a virtual boy, you're gonna have to be retarded. And so that's what happens with these people, right? It's freedom and liberties in general. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I get it. There's always going to be these kinks, and I understand what he's saying. And yeah, there's always going to be things that we need to work on. I mean, once again, we're never going to be perfect, but it's the recognition, and it's the repentance and the attempt to progress out of it. That's what matters.
Yeah, exactly, right? Can you imagine a quest log for this event? I could, and if I did, I'd get banned. So I won't do that. But anyway, how about incest between consenting adults? Well, the problem with incest is that it produces kids that are dysfunctional. And when you produce kids that are dysfunctional, then the entire world has to pay for it. So that's the reason why incest is a problem. It's because if you if you want to fuck your cousin and you have you pop out a kid and your kid looks like the prophets from Halo, maybe. Let me think. Another one. Okay. What else? What else, Gary?
Well, again, this is also the issue with, the incest. I mean, it's rife in Pakistan. It's rife in predominantly Muslim countries. And so you've also got these people with low IQs because of incest coming in to, Western civilization, and they're just running amok. This is why this is one of the aspects of this is why there's so much violence in the West now, because of these, low IQ PvP server people getting important en masse thanks to the socialists, and it's causing a problem.
What do we really have? Quasimodo? No, I don't like that. Let me think. Oh, man, I gotta think of some other one. The Riddler? No, the Goonies. Yeah, the guy from the Goonies. I like that. Well, everybody's got to pay for that, right? We all got to pay for this. And so, that's the reason why you can't fuck your cousin, right? It's because it's expensive on everybody, right? Because now we got to pay for a bunch of fucking inbred kids.
Well, not just that. It's
and
just
so nobody wants to do that. It's annoying.
Just don't do it. It's a bad thing.
And so Sid from Ice Age, I like that. And what if they're sterile? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't really care if two people want to do that. I think it's really weird, but to the extent that I don't have to see it, I don't really care. I don't want to legislate and have.
That's the problem with it. It's Asmon's got the typical atheistic mindset about it. It's, I don't care about it. The thing is, they're going to attempt to make it normal by you continually having this apathetic approach to it, by you continually having this idea of, if it doesn't affect me, whatever. It's unfortunately not enough. It's that kind of mentality that's allowed it to get so bad.
to micromanage people's bedroom behavior, right? Like, somebody wants to do something in a bedroom with another consenting adult, like, I really couldn't give a fuck. You want me to be honest, right? As long as it doesn't negatively affect other people. But I think that's the way, and by the way, I think that's the way almost...
But that's the thing, it's going to negatively affect you in the long run. This is why the atheist understanding is very like middle of the road, very, very feeble, really, at the end of the day.
Everybody feels.
No.
Like, am I crazy? Like, is that how y'all feel too?
Nope.
Like, that's the way a lot of people feel, right? I mean, like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to run people's lives, right? I mean, like, goddamn. And so anyway, what about adoptive siblings? Bro, like, damn. Wait, do you have an adoptive sibling? Why do you keep asking about this? What's going on, man? You got something you want to tell us? Look, man, look. If that's where you're at, there are resources that you can get help, brother.
I don't know what
you can get help.
About.
It doesn't have to be like this. You understand this? Rainbows are gay. They did make rainbows gay. I mean, rainbows were always gay, right? I mean, let's be honest. They were always gay.
No, they weren't.
But now they're like officially gay. So yeah, that's it. But anyway, we love ruining fandoms. I think that I'll go back. I'll wrap this up. I think that it is so insufferably fucking annoying that gay people, trans people, and everybody inside of the LGBT umbrella, not everybody, but the outspoken, pathological, narcissistic, self-obsessed, self-referential, attention whores inside of these communities can't stop talking about themselves.
True.
And because of that, they need every piece of media to reaffirm their identity.
That's
It
right.
is fucking exhausting.
It is exhausting.
For me to have to see every...
And that's why they've done it to so many things now. And it's, take Lord of the Rings, and it's not just the LGBTQ stuff, but I mean, it's also just they made so many franchises and so many things that were once good. They're just making them crap now. I mean, trying to find a TV series, trying to find something to watch, trying to, find a video game just to play that doesn't have some kind of message, doesn't have some kind of agenda, doesn't have some kind of, it has to fit the narrative. It's just getting impossible. And this is why I say having the mentality that Asmon does, where it's like, I'm going to just not care about it. They can do what they want because it's, consent is the magical word that makes everything right. It's never about just consent because it's going to lead to something else. They're never just going to be okay with just equal rights. It's going to fundamentally always lead to something else because it's a destructive force. It's evil.
Every single thing has some sort of gay pride, trans pride, some variation of this. And this is coming from somebody, I support gay rights. I support trans rights for adults. I support...
See, and that's the thing, the support, but then it's a mentality of just don't put it in my face. Don't put it in my games. But if you support it, they're going to do it. By you supporting it, you're basically giving them the license to go ahead and say, okay, that means we can up the ante. Let's put our faulty agenda into more things. And then all of a sudden, when it starts coming out into games and into movies and stuff, then you're going to start complaining about it. And once again, I understand that everybody's got their cross to bear, but it's the pride that's the issue. It's fundamentally the sin at the root that is the issue. And once again, Christianity is the only resolution and the only solution for that.
A lot of these things, but I don't want to fucking see it in every single piece of media constantly. It is this overcorrection where they want to put their sexuality front and center and basically force people into interfacing with and acknowledging that they are what they are. This is exhausting, it's confrontational, it's unnecessary, and it's insecure.
It's inevitable.
You want to suck a dude's dick? Go ahead. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up about it. Holy shit, how many times do we have to hear about this?
But it's inevitable, man. It's going to happen.
So that's the
Of
way I
course.
see it. It's exhausting. And every time I see a new game company that capitulates to these fucking narcissists, which is what they are, massive narcissists, and if you disagree with that, go back and look at what I covered yesterday. This guy reacted to a clip I was talking about.
Pause it there, and we can end it there. But yeah, man, that's exactly it. You know, the problem is you support it, but you don't want it in your face. And unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. You know, the whole magical word consent makes everything okay. Just don't put it in my face. That's what they do. That's exactly what's going to happen. And with that, folks, I'll check you on the next one. Cheers.